We got us a Chicago going to be first up over team 1. Going to be a con trying to come out for Lilia as I try to see if he can swing around over Chicago, trying to see if he can body them with a quick tackle. It's going to focus down the totems for just, I don't really know. Does Blade Dance hurt totems? Like if you Blade Dance on a totem, does that do damage to totems like if you target them? Or am I wrong on that? Gonna be a big haunt on Chicago. Actually, the bodies right now. Chicago could be big trouble. Does go for a big heal. Chain Harvest to follow. Have plenty of Maelstrom. Use all that Maelstrom banked up in order to heal, but it's still in a tight situation. That is still a decent damage over time rolling on him. Taking a lot of damage from that haunt. And for Lelia, that's an opportunity to get a lot of recovery. Lelia looks like it's playing a leech build. And it's gonna be a static totem separating the two. Trying to see if they can boop out and then just get it bounced around left and right. Chicago was able to disengage with him for a second. Gonna be Lelia. Might be in a bit of trouble. Definitely needs to get some kind of self-healing rolling in. Definitely needs Metamorphosis or I-Beam rolling. But that's gonna be meta down, hunt down. Might be limited on the survivability tools for a short moment. Potentially could be an opportunity for Chicago to turn around, get some LA blast and consistent healing. As Lelia does need to establish Metamorphosis as soon as possible. Maybe with a stun on Chicago, or there could be big trouble. I-Beam does establish. Wait. You're not I-Beam build? Wait, what kind of build are you? Oh, it's gonna be Chicago Slam, and so he's not demonic. Makes you wonder what kind of a build Lelia was. Was there a momentum build? Like a full damage build? Trying to maybe make like Blade Dance Chaos Strike build happen with Lego? Gonna be Kevin Landers up next. Got himself a demon spawning in, so any kind of CC that get disrupted with damage like a Sunder. Chicago won't really be able to peel him off. Also, Hexes are pretty clean for those. Has himself a demon right next to him in order to be able to blast him out. Gonna be Kevin, I think, maybe focusing on the bed. While Metaverse is up, it's gonna give you more healing and saving the soul for later. Actually, looks like he hit it now. But you can sometimes save the soul for later. Gonna be a match 8 hours for Chicago as they're able to recover a little bit of health. Looks like they're gonna trap down another team in that static zone, trying to put him in the playpen and keep him there for a second. Oh my goodness, dropping the kids over in the playpen mall and just going shopping. And Chicago's like, hold on, stay over there for a second, gotta do something. Wall up and ready for Chicago, could be an under ton of pressure as Kevin is just absolutely unleashing the carnage onto the shaman, dancing around with blades on this man, running around with scissors. And Chicago is just getting an itching from it all. Kevin does go for an immunity. As another walk does give him opportunity to maybe get himself a bit of a reset here for a second. Does he have any stuns? Super low on health. Does get blasted by Chicago at the end. Chicago is looking for a quick recovery before flexing. Can establish any kind of... Oh! Flexing went... Wait, is that your ult? It has to be an ult, right? Unless you swapped human altogether. Went human... Survival Hunter. I like it. Looks like trying to give Chicago a bit of an honor to at least let Chicago get full health before they get up next to him, trying to get some damage rolling. Gonna be the flayed shot rolling in. So Chicago knows there's gonna be plenty of kill shot damage and dot damage from bleed. Drop it down the static totem. Keep on flexing in place. Flexing does not focus down on totem at all, so it does give Chicago an opportunity to at least separate from flexing for just a moment, but that stun is gonna lock him down. Chicago needs as much Maelstrom and mana as they can in order to recover. Could potentially be bad. Does go for the Chain Harvest very quickly. There goes the self-healing. The Ghost Raptors are gonna help him out with Maelstrom tremendously. Looks like the Rogue accidentally got dotted for them for a second, I think. I'm at Pirates? I think maybe. Flexing does go for Phaeton for a second, looking for a reset. Flame Shock is gonna get him out. Rather bad Alien Blast is getting him super low. Could potentially be a turtle. Flexing needs to go for a heal immediately. He is super low on health, has Exil on him. And if he's playing the right build, actually it's most likely playing the camo build, isn't he? Big kill shot, Feint does for a second, Flexing is gonna have the Ghost Raptors eat one of the traps. The other Raptor is staying on his main pad. It's gonna be Flexing, continue to get kill shots back to back to Chicago. And Chicago is changing the Alien Blast to the Zaps. Right now, this is a really close game. Flexing does still hold on to his big defensive, has a human racial, and there's no real way for Chicago to lock him down easily. Gonna be a static totem onto his pets. Flexing is gonna get, I think, booped out of that totem, but he's gonna end up eliminated as soon as possible. Freeze the trap, but Chicago does go for a Manning. Better just looking for that recovery. Trying not to give up any more defenses if he doesn't have to. But definitely needs to get CC onto Chicago, roots, slows, and just let the dots do work, let the kill shots do work. Got himself a flame shot yet again. Chicago making sure to put flame shots in, is going to hide away from Flexi for a second. Doesn't want to eat any more kill shots for a moment. Stun around the corner. Flexi forced to push in, getting those kill shots. And starting to keep himself a bit of a range from Chicago until the flank strike. Going to be a chain harvest, hurting both the pet and the hunter. Going to be a flame shock swollen on both of them. Flexi doesn't break away out of the slow. Sunder doesn't quite catch him. And that's going to be Chicago making sure there's a flame shock on the pet at all times. Flexi looking for that reset. Could go for a feign death to remove the flame shock and maybe go for a bit of a heal. That pet is dotted, however. Gonna be traps around the corner. Chicago's gonna have to eat him unless they can get themselves ghost roast really early to eat the traps for him. There's only so much they can do. Flexing may have actually been able to wait long enough to potentially remove all the dots off of him. Could we see a camo out of the hunter? And that's exactly what we see. It's a bit of a reset. No dampening just yet. Only 1%. So it's very, very light dampening. But for Chicago, that does give him an opportunity to potentially go pick up the eye. It looks like Flex is trying to see if he can hold off Chicago as best as possible. Looks like Chicago sees the traps and is going to try to see if they can veer around him. Flexing does get himself a lot of recovery, however. And that's going to be Dots getting loaded up again. Chicago does get Ghost Tools rolling in really, really early. Trinket really early does get a Sunder onto Flexing. Trying to see if he can fade death out of it. Stun Totem to follow. Does burn a human racial with a turtle. Trying to make sure he is denying any of that burst damage lockdown for Chicago. Landed the freezing trap even though Chicago was surrounded by the speds. So Flexing was very, very careful to make sure he's accurate with his traps. Dropping down a steel trap. And that's going to be mad Chain of Harvest. Does put Flexing behind a little bit. The Hunter only has Exhilaration. Better use it early before dampening gets super high. Does get himself a Feign Death to remove the dots. It's going to be a Frost Shock immediately. And Chicago got the Earth Elemental joining in. Maybe that Earth Elemental could potentially put Flexing in a bad situation. Could potentially eat some of the traps in CC. But if anything, it's definitely going to keep Flexing in combat, so he can't really go for a proper Feign Death. As either the pet or Flexing are always going to be in combat, taking damage forever. Going to be a root until freeze onto Chicago as they try to see if they can blast away at Flexing. Going to be the pet taunting the Earth Elemental, and Flexing is able to at least get the pet to not attack him. Gets himself an opportunity to bust out the many bandages and cover himself just some wounds. And that's going to be quick intercept onto that pet. Fierce Thunder stun. Potential Chicago could maybe turn this around. Going to be Feign Death for Flexing. Turning a stun around onto Chicago. Looking pretty healthy for now. Unless Flexing gets himself lots of those flame shots back to back. Those flame shots coming through. The Ghost Tools are ready for Chicago. At least we'll have plenty of Maelstrom. Using the Maelstrom for aggression in order to land blasts onto Flexing. And Chicago definitely needs to go for as much self-healing as possible here. Flexing with the Feign Death really quickly. Does miss a freezing trap on one of the pets. Gonna be Earth Elemental eating the steel trap. Flexing got nothing to really stop him in this moment. The traps get super unlucky and Chicago does end up draining him. Those traps were so unlucky. That could have been anyone's game at that point, man. Those traps, if only Flexing had a steel trap or the freezing trap hit Chicago. But those pets being crowded by the Raptors, by the Earth Ellie, there's only so much you can do. Chicago, it is a little bit of luck. There's only so much you can do. Like the pets, you can't control over them. So in a bit of luck, Chicago was able to get a nice break. Sunder onto Grok, into a capacitor totem to sunder him into a static totem, and Grok tried to see if he could jump over the chain link fence. They're gonna be Chicago backing up, hoping I think for a Warlock Hellstone from Seavark, I think. It looks like the Pharaoh is going to go for a bit of a reset. I think that's exactly what Chicago's asking for. Like, yo, can I get them cookies real quick? Gonna be Grok trying to see if he can bleed out the rest of Chicago out here. Just survived the onslaught by the Hunter. Wall out for Grok. Expecting big damage out of Chicago. Just rotating defensives. And it looks like Grok already used a lot of his offensive. Does have Attack's Fury with their Feral Friends who very, very soon could potentially clip them both together. Does get them both clipped together. That is going to be a full set of bleeds rotting down Chicago. But looks like they stabilized. Plenty of Maelstrom. Not super high dampening just yet. Only in the 8-minute mark. And Grok is trying to see if they can live this. Barks again with the bear form, trying to give him some friends to region. Quick roll in Chicago. Quick chain harvest does drop it really, really low. And the zap does go through with Peas Baby on the cleanup duty as the last one on that team. Can Chicago somehow find a way to beat this rogue? No mana at the moment. Chicago does not see the rogue open up with the kidney shot. Gonna be Kidney as he's trying to see if he gets some damage. The capacitor drone does stop him, does force a trinket. Gonna be the resonant trinket onto Chicago, and that's gonna be Peace Baby going for a quick disarm. Chicago was able to survive the rogue's onslaught. A lot of the damage was able to disrupt it and force a trinket out of the rogue. This could potentially give him a winning strategy here. That use of trinket by Peace Baby could put him behind. Quick evasion is gonna still get hit by the zaps. The alien blast just put him super, super low. Falcon shot is gonna use by the rogue. Chicago just gonna make sure they're stabilized. This kidney shot could be very, very deadly. Shadow Blades coming through. Do they have a heal in between? Ghost Raptors generating plenty of Maelstrom. Potentially Chicago could recover here. Chain Harvest possibly. Does he have enough health and is going to get himself a bit of a heal. If they can somehow turn this around to Peace Baby, the Ghost Raptors are going to help him out. He gets a bit of burst with his spells, and he might be okay. Good in peace. Just continue to blast on Chicago. Battle Message Trick and giving Chicago plenty of health to work with. Peace Baby vanishing out, but that's what Chicago needs. As much self-healing as possible. Does have the totem down. That's going to be Ghost Raptors joining in. And that's going to be lots of Maelstrom getting generated. Peas better get back in there and take down Chicago as soon as possible. Chicago, I don't know how you survive this. I don't know how you survive this at this moment. Chicago definitely needs to get as aggressive as possible with the rogue. The rogue is not 100% health. Capacitor drone potentially. Gonna be checking out Chicago. Peace Baby going for damage of his own. Peace Baby dropping down the resident chicken. It does get Chicago kind of low, but Peace Baby is also pretty low in health as well. Chicago chasing after him, sprinting after the rogue with the wall up and running, blind up and following that. That's gonna be Peace trying to see if he can reset Shiv onto the Earth Elemental, but is that Earth Elemental gonna be able to catch up? If Chicago gets the right angle, maybe they can get him out. Earth Elemental is catching back up. That's gonna be Peace diving back into stealth. Does he have a flame shock on him? I don't think he does. Chicago could pick up the eyes if they wanted to and stay proactive. Peace Baby is kind of lowish on health. It looks like Chicago may be gravitating over to one of the eyes. Peace Baby backing up behind the pillar. This could potentially be Peace Baby turning around Chicago and bringing a victory for his team, or Chicago finding the rogue. Did they pick up the eye? They did. Peace Baby is trying to see if he can coax him back behind the pillar, looking for that Shadow Step kidney shot. And Peace has some damage. Big burst. Shadow Blade's up and running. Chicago, they're still alive. Barely though. Do they have the Maelstrom? Oh my goodness. That was such a clean go by the rogue. That's exactly what he needed. He needed all the crits. That's going to be a gateway for Seavark. Try to see if he can catch up with the rogue. Bat spinning out in the open. And Seavark tried to see if he can potentially get this rogue up and running on himself. That rogue did go in with some great damage. I think he may have even gotten the Shadow Blade proc inside of that Kyrian Burst window. I think that's a Seer Set proc in there too. Peace Baby opening up on the not Earth Elemental, on the Felguard. Trinket's that Felguard. Trinket for Seavark with a Mortal Coil into Peace. And Peace does have a way out of this one. Cloak, Vanish. So he has every defensive. So he's actually fine Cloak of Shadows and using Cloak of Shadows of Vanish here. And also using the Trinket in general. Dodging all those hits from the Tyrant. One last one does get him out though. 12 minutes of the duel. The fellow guards are crowding him. He's trying to see if he can generate comp points of these things with an evasion. I guess he might as well use evasion here. This is some physical damage coming out of Seavark. He might as well use it now. There's only so much you can really evasion or cloak versus a warlock. Seavark trying to see if he can push in. He was not stunned. That's going to be a soul rod onto Peace Baby with a fear to follow. He definitely needs to get himself like a proper setup with the pets and maybe whittle down Peace Baby. Has advantage for the rogue. Stun around the corner. Does he sell dots on him potentially? It's going to be a sipping up for Peace Baby. Opening up on the Seavark with a kidney shot. This is a bit of a stun. Going to be walled for Seavark. As he sees the Resonant Trinket. He's going to have to eat some portion of the damage. Mortal Coil sending the rogue running in the opposite direction. Potentially could go with a stun with the pet in order to stop him. Blind to Seavark. Has the pet keeping him in combat. Peace Baby able to generate comp points off of the pet. Could lock down the rogue before Seavark blind breaks. And that's going to be Demon Dog has joined in. Peace Baby trying to see if he can get around the corner. Does he have any calm points or cooldowns coming up? He's definitely going to have to do something. He is going to dive behind the pillar completely. And that's going to be a Shadow Step back to Seavark as soon as the DRs are off. Has the calm points pre-built up. Back-to-back Viscerants. Doesn't take him down. Another Viscerant to follow this rogue. Just playing super aggressive. I can't say I hate it. I kind of love it. Man, that was such a close game. But this rogue was like, you know what? I'm a low health, but I'm not going to go for a full reset. I'm just going to go off of a kidney shot. This man is trying to make those kidney shots work. That class should be allowed in the game. Rogue? I know, right? Yeah, maybe that's what... Maybe... I'm pretty sure we can all agree, chat. Maybe Blizzard could just remove Rogue out of the game and Dragonflight. That would be the best. That'd be the patch note. Patch 10.0. The class of Rogue has been removed from the game. Everybody, cheers. The crowd erupts. The crowd goes wild. Yeah, finally. Gonna be mad if Viscer's back to back as Power Demon. Getting pressured by the rogue is gonna be a stun as the eye beam comes out. Power Demon finds himself at extremely low health. Has a Trinket. Definitely needs to get a demon to spawn in for him. If he can get a demon spawning in, he may be okay. Immolation Aura versus Rogue. May have to go immunity immediately. Does get immunity. That's gonna be demon attacking him. Needs to slay it immediately. Catch himself a little bit of healing. Maybe even go for full flesh cap. Definitely needs to counterattack the rogue as best as possible. That wasn't a stun by a Peace Baby either, by the way. Cheap shot, fully through. Does not have a Trinket. That's really... Oh. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Sensei trying to see if he might be able to take down Peace Baby. Is this man just going to be able to get the whole team? Only two left on Team 2, but this rogue is trying to see if he can play it out. I love the fact that just about everybody's getting a chance to play, though. Peace Baby on that cleanup duty does make it a little bit more interesting into the high dampening, but it shows you how strong rogues are, even in that dampener. As Peace Baby is not going to be taking time to find out, just going to do mad damage to Sensei. It's going to be stuns, just not completely like picture perfect with Peace. Does have evasion for the sex team, but eventually he has to go for a Trinket. Mad damage out of Sensei with the blind triple. Has no way out. And Peace trying to see if he can maybe be able to bake a Bell out of there. It's going to be able to just attacking him with a Kevin Slime. Oh my goodness, he would just hold on to that Trinket. Shortest stun onto Sensei is going to have to go for advantage. This man is, if anything, you got to give this real credit. He's very accurate and precise with his use of defenses and offensives. Very accurate, very precise. You know? Sensei is trying to see if he can maybe recover a little bit of health. Mobilize back to back. Got himself his trusty Zuen, but Zuen has nothing to pounce on. As Peace Baby is trying to make sure he waits out until the R's at least are gone. Opens up with the Shadow Striker people. Does get Shadow Blades as well. I think it's a proc with the tier set. Mad damage to the Sensei. Actually could just drop him. Oh, Sensei recovered no health whatsoever. Does he have anything? Disarm into the rogue. It's gonna Phantom Knives him. He got disarmed and he just Phantom Knives him to death. Gonna be a Pirates trying to see if he can charge out. Big pistol shots. Gonna be a disarm onto the Pirates for a second. Has to get himself big triple pistols. Mad triple pistols. Get an auto attacks to piece. Definitely needs to get himself a kid shot on him as soon as possible. Kid shot, I think he has him. There's no way he loses, right? Yeah, at this point, there's no way he loses. Actually, no way. He just knows it's over. Oh my god, he hit him with a flag of ownership. I don't know if that man deserved that. That man played pretty well. But yeah, we had Chicago pop on. We have peace, baby. Everybody got a chance to play with this one. Let's go, boys. Let's get another one running. Yeah.